All right, we're talking with Joe Bailey, 20 years a Muppets writer. Joe, tell us, how did a cow turn up on the Muppet Show?
Well, Jim Henson had a certain affinity for mixing live animals in with the Muppets. But he also was a little bit like Ernie in that he just liked to drop these kind of bombs on the writing staff and just see what we were going to do with it. So he announced one day that the next episode of The Muppet Show was going to have a live cow backstage. And then he left, which he used to do a lot. So Don Hinckley and I are sitting around the writer's office trying to figure out what we're going to do with this cow. So we wrote an opening scene where everybody comes in and falls over the cow, and nobody knows whose cow it is or where it came from or how it got there. It's just this cow has to be dealt with. And then we're off and running, but where do we go from there? So finally Don came up with 3 quick scenes where Scooter is doing milk money jokes with Kermit in front of the cow, and then Gonzo falls in love with the cow and wants to date us, and then the Swedish chef is painting up the cow like a poster in a butcher shop. Okay, so now we're 3/4 of the way through the script, except we don't know how to get rid of the cow. So I remembered that a few episodes back I had created a human cannonball act, which you could do in a Muppet Show, called the Flying Zucchini Brothers. And it was always a Fredo got stuck in the cannon, but that's another story. So anyway, we decided what happens if the Zucchini Brothers get a hold of the cow and shoot it out of a cannon. That seemed to make sense to me. So John picked it up from there and wrote the last scene where Scooter comes in and says to Kermit, guess what? The Flying Zucchini Brothers got a hold of the cow, and as soon as he says that, kaboom, the cannon goes off, and you hear the cow moo its way across the universe. And after that, then our guest star comes in, Julie Andrews, who says to Kermit, thanks for having me on the show, and by the way, has anybody seen my cow?
Thank you.
All right.